it up. It's the Record Machine with your host, Jimi Holl.
Gentlemen, from the band The Exits, we got Jared Schneider and Tom Harrison on the program. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. You?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm in Myrtle Beach, so it can't be that bad.
Oh, nice, man. That sounds great. Tom, are you there?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's finally nice to talk to you guys. I found you guys on, I think it was SoundCloud. And
nice.
The first song I think I heard was Press Repeat. I loved it. And then I started listening to the other two. I think, Gone is the latest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I heard, I guess it was the first two I heard. And then Gone, I just, recently found, when I was looking at your Facebook page, I saw that you put out a new video. Well, I guess it was a couple weeks back, right?
Yeah, we just dropped the video like this week actually, and then the song came out a couple weeks back, and we followed up with a video. But yeah, thank you, man. I'm glad we were able to, finally.
Yeah,
get on the line.
I wish you guys had more than 3 songs because I'm like really into it. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Don't worry, dude. We've got plenty more than 3, and they're on their way.
That's awesome, man.
You have to come to the show to get the rest of them now.
Yeah, I know. I wish I would have knew about you guys before I moved because I actually lived in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
For 47 years, and I just moved to Myrtle Beach.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I moved to Myrtle Beach November 1st of this year. So.
Oh really?
Or 2018, I should say. But yeah, we just moved down here.
Oh wow.
Can you tell us about the band?
Yeah, sure. So we're a pretty new band, which I guess is one of the reasons why you hadn't heard of us before.
Okay.
We only started about last year, so just getting things going now and really starting to get nice coverage in the press and some good things going online, with Spotify as well. But yeah, I went to college with the drummer. He's on the line now. He's actually quite sick. He doesn't have a voice.
Oh, okay.
Which is unfortunate because we're gonna rehearse tonight as well. So he sings background, but yeah, he and I were in another band for a while. It was more kind of like it's a completely different genre, more of a live band, hip hop group. And we did some touring and we had some really cool gigs. Played some of the festivals. We got down to South by Southwest and we were opening for some really great acts in that genre. We opened for Future and Ex Ambassadors and some pretty big groups. But then at a certain point, I've been playing in the band and there was a different singer. It got to the point where I love rock and roll, and that's kind of what I grew up on. I mean, I grew up all kinds of genres. Like I listened to jazz, hip hop, soul, everything really. But I think rock and roll was really what first captured my attention, and I felt like nobody was really doing it right. I'm not necessarily doing it right either, but I felt like there weren't that many people doing it. It was underrepresented, and this is what I love best. And I got to a point where I was a sideman in the other band, and I felt like I really needed to own it, kind of be a master of my own destiny, so to speak. And so at the time, like people's lives were moving in different directions. Keyboard player had a kid, he kind of embraced fatherhood, and we split off and started to do our own thing. And then we brought in Tom, who's on the line here. We just met him kind of out and about in New York, just, partying at night. He's actually from New Zealand, so he had just kind of moved here, and then we kind of pulled him into the gang. Just started gigging around, and we released a couple of songs, this year, or last year rather, and gearing up kind of for our first EP drop at the top of this year, something that I think we're going to start rolling out the material next month.
You were born in the United States, right?
Yeah, I'm American, so Cal and I are both born in New York City, but I grew up in the D.C. area. So we moved down there when I was a kid. Cal grew up in Syracuse area, upstate New York. Cal's from middle of nowhere, New Zealand.
No, because when I
the whole country's in the middle of nowhere, but
the reason why I asked is because when I hear you sing it, I don't know. To me, you sound like you're like from like England or something like that. That's why. I thought maybe you were.
I mean, I guess it's
from England.
Yeah. I guess it's the whole. It's just an exchange, Probably.
I mean, has anyone ever said that to you before?
Imitating some American guy who was imitating some British guy who was imitating some American guy.
Has anyone ever said that?
That's actually that's like quite a funny observation that we've sort of always had about rock music in particular, is that all the British bands try to sound what they think is American, and vice versa. All the Americans want to try and sound kind of British because, all the great British rock bands So I don't know, Jared. Have you heard that before? I haven't heard anyone say Jared sounds British before, but now that you mention it, when you blur it with music, I guess you really probably couldn't tell.
Well,
Yeah, I guess. I mean, also, I think that a lot of my favorite British rock bands to do it, saying a lot of them because they're imitating American guys, and it's become kind of like nebulous, like transatlantic accent. But yeah, I guess you can't really help it. It's like if I grew up listening to the Rolling Stones and like trying to imitate like some Mick Jagger shit, then of course some of it's going to sound like kind of British. But it's not an intentional thing.
mm-hmm. No, that song, Please Don't Tell. I love that song, but you know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a crossover between like a Tears for Fears, Red Hot Chili Pepper type of sound.
Yeah.
You kind of sound like Kurt on that song. You know, Kurt from Tears for Fears?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, that's really funny, man. Like, that's not something we get all the time, but I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like once before, someone else was like, "Oh, you sound like that dude." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I thought when I heard it. But then, with the Tom's funky bass playing in there, it kind of reminded me like a Flea sound, but like with a Tears for Fears like vocal. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, we're gonna start releasing stuff. We're just kind of always up in the studio. We've got a guy up in Syracuse. He's really good, producer, engineer, and we kind of hit our stride in the studio. And we're just going to be constantly releasing things, so there'll be no shortage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. The first year we were out, we threw away like an album's worth of material that we weren't that satisfied with.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now we feel like it's, we're consistently producing good stuff. Just going to keep putting it out.
Now, do you guys produce your own stuff, or do you have like a manager and stuff like that?
Yeah, right now it's just us. We've got an engineer up in Syracuse that we work closely with.
Mm-hmm.
I would call it. I mean, we really kind of co-produce with him. He's got great ears. He gives us great feedback while we're up there. He helps us arrange things. And so I'd say it's kind of like when we're in the studio there, it's kind of a co-production with him. But yeah, we're writing all our own stuff. And at this point, just kind of managing ourselves too, which is a ton of work, considering, it's not just like, oh, let's go play gigs and, some big agent's going to find us one day, we're going to get signed. It's not the way it works anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of online promotion, and there's so many different avenues online. And Tom helps a lot with that. He kind of runs those social channels because it's something that, like, I don't particularly enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I think anyone enjoys doing it.
Well, I guess social media is not for everybody,
Yeah. I mean, all three of us, like for our day jobs currently, have in one form or another advertising backgrounds. So even though we'd rather be, doing this for a living, at least we have grounding in areas that help us sort of self-promote, as difficult as that can be, being 20-something-year-old males who don't necessarily want to be talking up how amazing we think we are. That's just part of the game now. And if you don't do it and don't take yourself seriously online and things like that, then other people won't either. So it's that kind of, you do it with a smile, and eventually someone else will hopefully do it for you.
Mm-hmm. Now, you guys playing out a couple times a week, or not too much?
Well, we're trying to play out more often. So, I mean, in the city, it's not like we're playing like, we're not like entertainment at dinner. So, like, I grew up playing jazz too on the sax, and then you could play a gig every night because there's always a bar or a restaurant that wants to have a live band.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a whole different thing versus like we're in a band in New York City and we're trying to get a good crowd every time we play and promote every show in a big way. And so that's a whole different game. So right now we're playing about once every 3 weeks to a month. But I think we want to start gigging out a little more, kind of like in the trenches. Because right now we play like feature shows. They're really fun. They're packed rooms.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing clubs like Mercury Lounge in the city, like Bowery Electric. But Rockwood. We're starting to get out to Brooklyn. So kind of like those club-sized rooms. Really nice clubs. I mean, those are rooms that I'd always wanted to play in. And that's great. But obviously as a musician, you have that hunger to play like every night. Like I would, that would be great. So, I think we're going to start picking up the pace with gigs a little more. Start playing out other cities too. I think our first year was really spent just trying to get tight. Trying to get a good audience behind us, which we have in New York now. And now we're kind of at the point where we're like, all right, let's really get after it. Let's play as many gigs as we can. Let's really put out music, because we feel like we can get behind it now that it's strong enough. And yeah, like Tom said, we're still working day jobs and just trying to get out of them as quickly as we can. But they kind of help. Like I copyright, so I freelance. So it's not like I'm like, I have a pretty flexible schedule. I'm mostly working on music at this point. But just writing things professionally kind of helps. Because this is my first band where I'm really writing lyrics. And I was like, well, cool. I've like written, I don't know, for everything else. Like I should be able to write my own fucking song.
Yes.
And yeah, it's cool. So yeah, we're hoping this is the year we just bail on the day gigs and like, we're just doing it. We just want to take off.
So when you guys do an exit show, do you incorporate a lot of cover songs too, or you just play all your originals?
Definitely more of an original thing. We'll throw in like a cover here and there, get people going, because it can be tough. Like if you don't know a band, you don't know the song, it can be hard to get into it. I mean, like the first time, even if you heard your favorite song for the first time, you're probably not as into it as like that fifth time, That's
Right.
when you're like most into a song. And so it's nice to throw in a cover here and there for people who don't know us, that they're familiar with, that they can kind of, get into. And also just give people some context, like, oh, that's kind of like what these guys are listening to. Like Elvis through whatever's come out this year. When I was a kid, Nirvana was a big deal. I was into that. Still love them. Just kind of everything. I love like a lot of the early 2000s stuff that was coming out in New York. That's definitely, that was definitely big when, especially, that stuff came out when I was like 11 years old or something. So it's kind of like the perfect time for that music to hit.
Yeah.
I think we've thrown out a few covers of like the Kooks and Franz Ferdinand and things like that as well. Just kind of those like dance track rock beats that everyone knows. It's a dance floor filler before you sort of end the night on a couple of big originals.
Yeah, and it's cool. And then there's some other things going on too, because the drummer, Cal and I, we played in like a hip hop band before, and we listened to tons of that music. So we were really into the roots. We were really into, like a lot. I mean, all that stuff. We kind of grew up listening to Outkast. Coming through that era, it's like you had access to all different types of music, and it's not like we were deaf to it. So I was really into like the hip hop stuff growing up, and we were playing that music for a long time. I grew up playing jazz, like I said. I don't think there's so much of that in their music in an obvious way, but we always try to incorporate some instrumental stuff, like a solo here and there. So like the influence is a bit eclectic. Even like electro, like my cousin runs like a techno label out in Germany. A lot of influences, but it definitely presents as rock and roll. But I think it gives it a little bit of a modern flavor for sure.
And what about you, Tom? Who were you listening to? Who did you look up to as a bass player? Did you like Flea and guys like him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what Jared covered off is sort of, I think, applies to all of us, and it's kind of how we formed as well. We had a lot in common. We met out and about, like drinking and sort of partying in social situations. So that kind of helped us come together just on general similarities as well. But like adding to that, and it's always like just drilled in my mind is all those like famous Michael Jackson bass lines and things like that just
Oh yeah.
stand out to me as like massive, not just like influence, but like, you know, target that as to like one day hopefully be able to stack up alongside anything remotely close to how amazing some of those original works were. So I also, you know, coming from New Zealand, there's a lot of what I'd sort of call like Pacifica. It's almost like Pacific roots type music that's really laid back summer kind of chilled vibes that I still listen to a lot of, things that were really popular back home that I guess you'd almost compare to some of the more like mainstream, like Hawaiian successful surf type music as well. So, and a lot of homegrown hip hop as well. So, similar kind of vein as the other guys and Jared, but definitely a few different influences coming from markets that don't get a lot of international exposure either.
That's pretty cool. You guys got any shows coming up soon, or that you want to talk about?
Yeah. So we're booking out the first part of this year as we speak. And so there's going to be a lot more dates on the books over the next few days. But we locked one in at Rockwood on March 15th. It's like Friday night. They're playing at 8 p.m. there. It's kind of the first one we lined up. We're kind of focused on pushing out material in January, but we'll definitely be gigging a couple times in February. And we were even looking at getting over to London in April. We've got some good contacts there. The guy who shot the video for Press Repeat, actually, he's great director. Also, yeah.
He's actually like quite a he's an interesting artistic guy himself. We brought him over to like produce and direct a bit of a run and gun music video for Press Repeat, which we were pretty happy to have a bit of success with. But you know, he's a musician himself as a solo artist, and he's been in bands from back in New Zealand and things, and has also been a successful sort of like director, actor, and producer back in New Zealand. So he's now based in London and is filling in and sort of finding his feet over there. His name's Johnny Barker, and he's playing in a number of bands over there. So he's a great contact. Also, he's family, so we're working with them at the moment, and a few of the bands that he's connected with that are in similar genres, because they're filling up rooms in medium-sized clubs and sort of the London version of the rooms we've been playing in. So hopefully in like April or May, we'll be over there playing on a bill with a couple of local guys, and can fill a pretty epic party for a weekend and get a couple of gigs on the books. So that's definitely keeping us excited.
Yeah, and also we've been getting a good reaction to the music over there, so it just seemed like a good thing to capitalize on. It's funny, we've been getting really good. I think rock music, as you know, today is not as big in America, but it's still really big globally. So, you know, in England, there's a good amount of that music. And then, so we're looking to get over there. And then recently we discovered that South America, you know, is still a big market too. So there could be some more international travel in our future with any luck.
That's awesome, guys. And anybody who wants to find your music and all your show updates and stuff like that, they can go to your website. It's theexits.com, correct?
That's it.
That's the one. That's the central hub for all things Exits.
It's theexits.com.
That is one hell of a voice for radio you have, by the way.
Yeah, you got that radio voice, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Can we get that soundbite? That's great.
I could do that for you if you want. I'll send you over an MP3.
That'd be amazing.
Let's get this guy on the record, man.
If you want,
hell yeah.
No, seriously, if you want me to send you a drop, just let me know. I'll send it to you. No problem.
Yeah,
no problem. Just tell me what you want to say, and then I'll drop it for you. No charge either. I'm a good guy.
Legendary. That'd be amazing, man. Thank you.
No problem.
I think I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
I'll just send it to girlfriends, like.
I don't know if it's that believable. It feels like you're a bad guy saying you're a good guy. The inflection you put on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I.
There's a lot of ways that could go. Yeah, I
That's
would buy,
gonna-
I would
that's
buy a
gonna
car from
move
you with a
record.
heartbeat.
What was that?
Oh, I was joking. I said I'd buy a car from you in a heartbeat.
That's funny. But guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and I look forward to hearing some more great stuff from you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. We'll be sure to send it to you. Before anybody else.
I'm sure whatever you put out next is going to be just as good as the the 3 that you have out already. And like I said, I look forward to hearing it. And like I said, folks, if you want to check out this band, go to their website. It's theexits.com. Take care, guys.
Amazing. Thank you, Jimmy. All right.
All right.
Have a good one, dude. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That's good. See you later.
Please don't tell. I'm begging you, please. Please don't tell. I'm begging you.